This video shows how to change the fuel filters on a John Deere 4430 tractor. It's worth taking a quick overall look at the fuel system. In this photo of the engine's right side, the fuel lines are outlined in yellow. Starting at the lower right corner, the fuel line comes from the tank and goes into the sediment bowl, red arrow, and hand pump, blue arrow. Then continues to the two square fuel filters, red arrows, and then to the injector pump. In this video, we'll clean the sediment bowl and screen, then change the two large square fuel filters. We'll start with the sediment bowl. You can see the debris in this bowl. To clean, start by closing the fuel shutoff. This is on the bottom of the fuel tank. Crawl under the front of the tractor and look up. Notice on this tank there's also a drain plug that can be opened. By loosening the thumb screw, you'll be able to remove the glass bowl, screen, and spring. There was a lot of debris in this bowl. Also, inspect the screen and the spring. Then, check the condition of the gasket. Here is a parts diagram with part numbers in case the gasket, screen, or spring need to be replaced. As you put things back together, you'll notice the spring attaches over some tabs on the bottom of the screen. Notice the lip on the top of the screen when reinstalling. Put the sediment bowl in place and turn the thumb screw until the bowl is loosely held. Then open the fuel line to fill the bowl, tightening the thumb screw after a little overflow. It's a good time to fire up the tractor and check for leaks. Changing the two square fuel filters is straightforward. Again, start by shutting off the fuel at the tank. The fuel filters are John Deere part number AR50041. First, it is worth looking at the mounting plate with the filters removed. You can see drain stamped in the metal near the lower two holes. The yellow arrows point to the drain bolts. The blue arrows point to the holes where the fuel flows into the filters. The red arrow points to the bleed screw or bolt. The two magenta circles show where the fuel flows out of the filter into the injector pump. It's important not to let any debris into these. You can start by loosening the drain bolts and draining each filter into a container. Or you can remove the filters without draining them. It's just a little messier. This shows the holes in one of the drain bolts. If fuel does not drain after loosening the bolt, it may be plugged with debris. It's a good time to remove and clean the bolt and replace the O-ring. This shows one of the brackets that holds on the filter. Notice the tabs that hook onto the backing plate, holding it in place. To remove the bracket, push forward on the outside tab and up and back on the second tab. When the filters are removed, the backing plate likely needs to be cleaned. Again, avoid getting debris in the fuel ports. Then the filters can be installed and the brackets clipped on. To fill the filters with fuel, first open the bleed plug and then open the fuel tank valve. Fuel is pumped into the filters with the sediment bowl pump. Turn counterclockwise until you can pull up and start pumping. Once the filters are full and there is some overflow, tighten the bleed plug. Now you are ready to start the engine. Keeping clean fuel sure helps to avoid problems.